Alright guys, so this was a video for Robot Murloc's video, or ACUC right here, Karasawa. This is the original configuration with the bazooka. I changed that out for the other small grenade launcher later. I think it's the Iridium. Now, I'm going to preface this. We did a test stream a while back for these ACs. You're going to see this video and a few of the next ones. I did much better with this one on the stream. It's on the VOD channel. Quality's kind of but it's there. Because this AC requires, in my opinion. Now, Murloc runs it a little bit differently, but if you want to be efficient with it, you need to use the Karasawa to its fullest. And as far as I'm concerned in this game, that means getting the instant second charge as often as possible. Now, that's a difficult task, at least in some cases. And with this particular AC, it can make it challenging to do. Unfortunately, that's what you're going to see a lot of with this video. That should not discourage you from running this. The build will be in here somewhere, if not in the video, in the description. Check it out. If it has a share code, that'll be where you'll find it. Here's the thing, though. While this AC is definitely not a meta AC by any stretch of the imagination, it is an interesting build in that it requires a lot of very specific tech, and it needs kind of a, what do we call it? You need to have a very balanced head when you're running this. You have to be calm the whole time. If you panic, freak out, or if you're like I am, where you're just kind of a, I don't know, ADHD mech pilot, you will miss a lot of the things this can get you. That's the other problem, however. This is an AC that has two major weaknesses. And I'm not even talking about the animation lock of having a melee weapon with two things that require that. One is, if you're going to analyze these ACs and you're going to do them fairly, I feel like putting them up against the better things in the game is fair. And that's where we're going to hit the critique. Things like this, the double Zimmerman builds, are going to absolutely wreck you because you have no way to stop it. Short of the second charge, and even then, a Zim shield has a shield which can negate the second charge on itself. Now the instant can still be used if you are holding the charge and doing quick boost to change the timing of the fire, but that's also generator specific. You're just doing a lot more work for something that in any other situation would be easier done with something else. And you get moments like that. That's not to say you can't make it. On stream, I got 2 raw full charge ASHMEADs on people, one of which was into an instant second stage, which worked good. But it requires those instances. And in some cases, that requires the opponent to either open themselves up, or in some cases, outright hang themselves. You're going to see another example of that with this particular opponent. This AC has good melee cancel, but because it has one weapon that requires a stance, an animation lock to actually fire, that weapon might as well not even come into play here. And the other one, the Karasawa, needing to pull the second charge tech at certain scenarios to get a full break, easily anyway, means you're still stance firing something on someone who can run away so easily they can break your FCS's accurate lock distance. And the quick boosts, of course, in this game, accuracy is what you can make it. Now, there's a reason one of the best snipers is the Fasan. Now, that said, it's a fun AC to pilot. If you're just looking to get in and just play the game, full charge ASHMEAD to instant second charge Sawa is like one of the better dopamine hits you're going to get playing the game. So that's cool. Things I changed were the bazooka to the grenade launcher. They're both the small ones. I forget the grenade launcher's name. I'm sorry. And I added some pancakes to the pancake stack missiles. Reason? Just damage output. The smaller ones are no better than the bigger ones when it comes to that. The weight's negligible on this. And the chase down, despite having good boosters for that, with the melee cancel, that in and of itself also can cause problems here. Now, Murloc, I got no good way to fix this, unfortunately. I did what I could without completely mangling the design, and everything I did to actually fix it ends up making it worse. And I don't mean like worse, I mean not the thing you handed. So, without completely gutting or butchering it or making it something it's not, I really feel like it's going to be go back to the drawing board with your melee weapon. As fun as the ASHMEAD is, I feel like if that thing had like the laser dagger, the laser blade, the pulse blade, pretty much any other melee weapon, it would be a lot more viable. That said, when it works, it's great. You know, it's kind of like my car preference for rotary engines. When they're not in the garage, they're amazing. And that's kind of where we're at with this. Like I said, though, when it works, nice to see. Fun to do. Very much reminds me of a up-armored, more survivable version of my Project Mercury, which is kind of a meme on the channel. It's not really good, it's just I like bunk memes, and that's exactly what it does. I didn't mean for this to turn into like a rant video, more than a like commentary back and forth on what the opponents are doing. But all the opponents I got for this that were any kind of good fight were all kind of obvious. So, I hope you're good with that. We still got a couple more fights going here. And these guys... This guy's actually just a good example of when it works. It's good stuff right there. Unfortunately, that's the minority. And you will see with things like this what the problem really boils down to. Now, I feel like this AC wants to be heavier. Maybe if I had to mutilate this into something else. The melee weapon to the lance, keep the Karasawa, just put some meat on the bones, and make the boosters more efficient. Don't rely on the melee cancel of the boosters to get speed. I'm just spitballing at this point. But this particular fight with an opponent who doesn't have to stop moving and has a good close quarters game going on kind of illustrates why and when this thing falls apart. I honestly feel like if you really want to keep this going and you really can't live without the setup you have, take the grenade launcher off, put the melee weapon on the arm, take whatever the starter shield is, I think it's the T61, T63, or the shield with the, like 1.3 second parry window. Either one of those will be fine. And it'll give you a good answer for some of the stuff you can't deal with easily right out the gate. If you have problems with BVOs, take the long parry. If you have problems with just general fights like Zim shields and whatnot, PS is probably the better choice. I'll address that lag since it's here. That issue was taken care of as far as I know. I had some technical issues the last couple of weeks. They're gone now. This is another example, kind of like the last one, except a better example of how to use a motion lock weapon, because we all know that the grenade launcher is amazing. Or at least the earshot is. And that's an example of me doing the second stage charge and not being able to employ it. I could have canceled it. Brain wasn't in the right headspace to do it. That one's on me. Ultimately, though, this fight, I don't think would have changed much. He's been very good about dodging just about everything thus far. Now, there is something to be said for having, say, maybe a Zimmerman in the left hand, or a Haldeman Sweet 16 in a shotgun. Anything that can produce more stagger. I would argue maybe even the electrical pistol. Kind of depends on how you want to play that. But beyond that, I don't know what I would do. As for machine gun guy, over here, he's just showing the weaknesses, that's all. Case in point, of dodging things. He gets this stuff out of the way really well. Even though I got the instant second stage, he still made it a non-issue. As long as someone can easily get away from that, one way or the other, it doesn't really matter how they do it. That's going to be a problem. This could be an FCS issue, or it could be a lag issue, I'm not sure. But it also could easily be done with a shield. Many of them have a parry that, for the equip, can just make the Karasawa a non-issue. Ideally, you'd spam it in those cases. Also, we have a guest I think some of you guys are going to recognize. I'm not going to say who it was. Very interesting fight. Those of you who have never seen this work, this is a tank auto-canceling the dagger melee full charge, and it's hilarious. If you've never seen this before, it's funny to see. It's so funny. Right here we go. Zool 2.0, everybody. This thing just goes. So it's always funny to see those things. I think the original is Type 57, Type 67. To get the name. It was kind of an infamous design. Regardless, that's what I got, guys. Take it easy. Murloc's nice play in the AC for a while. Like, favorite, subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.